Where's my cat? What? Like, everything's glitching today. Okay. There's no hole in my chest. We're good. All right. Um, I keep thinking about my siblings. Okay. Cause like I would go to their house, and unbeknownst to me, I was in enemy territory. You know, like they had a wallpaper of Osama bin Laden with a bullet through his head. They went to the shooting range, and one of the shooting range things that they shot at was Osama bin Laden. And in the context of me trying to bring about the complete destruction of the system as it stands today, um, and me being in enemy territory, the Osama bin Laden poster would be metaphorical, symbolic. Um, and then I was thinking about guns. I was thinking about how Mika, stop. I was thinking about how every interaction that I've ever the mic, the mic. I was thinking about how every interaction that I've ever had within the confines of this group has been some sort of custody battle. Um, for example, I dated this girl back in 2019, and we got a little kitten together. And she ended up kind of like stealing it away, but I still had all the paperwork for it. And the entire circus came down on me to give her the paperwork for this kitten, and I ended up giving her the paperwork because I wanted what was best for the cat. But in retrospect, now I understand that it was some sort of like custody battle insofar as the human trafficking and the dealing with of pets. Um, because I was in a metaphorical sense, I was the head of the National Parks Department. When you saw the National Parks Department going up against Donald Trump, um, that was a lot of my rhetoric that was being used. Um, because I was the head of the National Parks Department in a metaphorical sense, not in an actual sense. Um, I in giving her those documentations seeded something, and yeah, it was a thing, okay, and I've been thinking about it a lot. I've been thinking about it a lot. Um, and then I was thinking about last year. Well, in the context of my siblings, and the shooting range poster that they have on their wall, um, which was an affront to me every time I walked into that house, which is something interesting to think about. And I was thinking about how last year I had a gun back in 2019. Yeah, I got it in 2018, and I ended up giving it away last year because I decided that there are more powerful ways to get things done outside of just shooting someone. I found out that I was the epicenter of this organization, and I was like, what do I need a gun for? You know. Um, and then both of my siblings, my the ones that I was walking into enemy territory unbeknownst to me, they got guns, and they became really gun enthused, let's say, um, and and I wonder if that's like part of the custody battle too, you know, like I gave away my gun, and unbeknownst to me, ceded said gun to them, you know. There was one more loose thought that I ignored to finish the story, but now I'm trying to remember what it was. Oh yes, okay, okay, okay. Um, there was so the final conversation I had with my sister, the one in which she admitted to me, confessed to me that she was part of this organization. The final message, the final question that she gave me, and I've been thinking about it a lot. Well, not really thinking about it because I'm not questioning it. I'm just they know how to get in my head. Um, she asked, "What makes you think that I'm right? What makes you think that you're right?" And I think the gun argument is like a perfect one. You know, um, within this organization, from what I've gleaned through the language, they don't like guns. They prefer knives, like something up close, something that you can actually like interact with, instead of like the cowardly way of shooting someone from miles away. Um, and in that way, I think the contradiction is laid bare insofar as like the organization and um, what they believe in and what how they act. You know, and maybe that's laid bare for me as well because I don't have a physical gun, but if we are to accept the world as we are born into it, it's endless noise, endless noise. You know, the I think the best way to describe my situation, outside of every other way that I've described my situation, because I continue to describe my situation over and 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 over again. Great. I blanked my own mind. Awesome. Um, yes. Okay. I'm back. I think the best way to describe my situation is the organization is uh, continues to try to position me as some sort of like, because I am the epicenter, because I um, took hold of the crown, um, and am in essence an avatar for the father of all civilization. They continue to tell me that I need to act in a fatherly figure way, and I agree. At the same time, my children are captive, and I want them back so badly. So, um, another way to that's another way to describe the internal contradiction within me, uh, trying to position me as a fatherly figure for all of humanity, and I feel like ignoring the fact that like the system needs to like completely come crashing down. Like I'm not talking as a child here. I'm talking about the father of civilization. Seeing what has been built, this affront to one, this monument to zero, the human trafficking, all of it needs to stop. You need to grow up. And no, because I know, like I've had this argument before, and I just know, like, if anybody's watching this and then they go out into the world, there's going to be some entity that's going to come in and say, you need to grow up. The world is nothing but meaningless and chaos and all of that kind of stuff. And what I've always said in that regard is that I do not like anarcho anarcho nihilism. The idea that everything is meaningless and so we should descend into anarchy. That is completely counterintuitive to building a civilization. There is room for some aspects of it, but not to the scale that we've not to the scale of zero that we've built it to, you know? Like it's just I don't know. I don't know. It's scarcity mindset all the way down and all the way up, and I just Yeah. Anyways, I think I'm done for now. I will come back when I have another thing to talk about. Yeah.